Hi, I'm Lisa Bardot, and today's drawing tutorial is all about emotions and facial expressions. This video is a part of my People Skills series, a month-long sequence of tutorials and assignments that will get you familiar with the basics of drawing humans and help you develop your own people drawing style. If this is your first People Skills video, I recommend starting with the introduction and working your way through the tutorials sequentially. We'll be using the iPad app Procreate to do the tutorials, but you are more than welcome to join in with a paper and pencil or whatever medium you feel comfortable using. If you're new to Procreate, I highly recommend watching my Intro to Procreate tutorial. Let's get started. In this series, we're learning how to create stylized people illustrations. This means we're not trying to draw realistically. We're trying to create something unique by characterizing. In previous videos, we've learned how to draw the different facial features. Now we're going to put that to work by learning how to draw facial expressions. There are a lot of ways to convey emotions, but the human face is one of the best. Tiny changes to the facial features can make drastic changes to the expression we interpret. When drawing expressions, it all boils down to manipulating a few key facial characteristics: the shape of the eyes, the size of the pupils, the contour of the brows, the form of the mouth, and other things like wrinkles, spreading out of the features, the tilt of the head, and more. Let's begin with the eye shape. Eye shape is determined by the eyelids, how opened or closed the eyelids are. The dark parts here represent how much of the eyelid is visible. This is the eye at rest. A more circular shape would mean the eye is opened wide and the lids aren't visible at all. A half-closed eye might seem sleepy or tired, while a narrow eye would be squinting with the lids nearly closed. Next is the pupil. The pupil can be constricted or look very tiny, particularly when a person is scared, surprised, or looking at bright light. Conversely, the pupil can be dilated or enlarged when someone is focused or concentrating, excited, or when they are somewhere dark. The gaze of the eye can also convey emotion. Someone scared might be looking for the source of danger. Someone angry might be staring straight ahead intensely. I mean, we've all heard of side-eye, and there's definitely some emotion being conveyed with that look. The eyebrows and the skin in between do a great deal to convey emotion. The eyebrows, made up of the arch and the inner corner, move quite a lot. They can be raised or lowered. The brow can be furrowed, meaning the skin in between the brows is wrinkled. Just the inner corners can go down. Just the inner corners can be raised. Or maybe a combination of these. And then we have the mouth. A simple line can convey the mouth at rest. The mouth can be grinning. It can be smiling. It can form a big open mouth smile. It can be wide open when laughing or shouting. The mouth can frown or grimace. It can be open with the corners turned down. The jaw can drop. It can form an O shape or become ferocious and snarled. And of course, many more. When you're studying emotions, try drawing the emotion and then a more extreme, more intense version of that emotion, like happy versus ecstatic, or scared versus terrified. I'm going to take you through drawing 16 different expressions. That will be 2 versions, each of 8 different emotions, and I'll show you how I characterize each one. So the first step is to define my character at rest. In order to exaggerate something, we first need to establish a baseline. We have to decide what our character's face looks like with a neutral expression before we can decide how it looks disgusted or angry or sad. For my character, the style I've chosen is 2 round eyes, medium-sized pupils, this little nose, small brows, and a very simple mouth. So this is my character's neutral face. You should decide your own style of the different features too. When you're practicing drawing expressions, it's best to keep it simple. For now, try to only add in details or extra lines if it helps convey the emotion. Let's kick things off with a little joy, shall we? Our first emotion is happy. This is a great one because I'll show you how I start with that neutral expression and make small changes to get a completely different expression. First, let's get rid of that deadpan mouth. Then we'll squint up the eyes a little bit at the bottom. Raise the brows just a bit and draw a nice big grin. We can even move the features up a bit to show that the head is tilted back, as you sometimes do when you're pretty happy. The intense version of happy is ecstatic. Someone is so overjoyed they can barely contain it. An ecstatic person might have their eyes closed with their head tilted back, the brows are raised, and the mouth is opened wide into a huge smile with teeth showing. Perhaps they're even laughing. Now, imagine you're feeling sad. Your head hangs low, you might be looking at the ground. The outer corners of the eyes slant downward, and the inner corners of the brows go up. The mouth is in a frown, and the lip is pouting. The eyes might even start filling up with tears and appear shiny and reflective. If you're intensely sad, you're in anguish. It's almost painful. The eyes are closed tight, producing wrinkles. The inside corners of the brows are raised, and the brow is furrowed. The mouth open wide, forming a grimace or snarl, and is possibly crying out in pain. For added effect, you can even add some tears streaming down the cheeks. When someone is scared, they shrink down and appear timid and get panicky. They look in the direction of the source of danger. They sweat. The pupils are constricted and small. The outer corners of the eyes slope down, and the inner corners of the brows are now up. The brow is furrowed. The mouth stays small, frowning but open, as the person might be breathing heavily. An intensely scared person is terrified. The eyes open as wide as they go, and the pupils become super dilated and tiny. The brows are raised up now, but they stay furrowed. The mouth is now opened in a scream, with the outer corners turned down. Surprise! That's a feeling of mild astonishment. The eyes go wide and the pupils dilate. The brows are raised up a bit and the mouth gets small but opens just a little bit. If you were extremely surprised, you'd be shocked. The eyes open as wide as they can possibly go and the pupils get teeny tiny. The brows are raised comically high and the mouth forms an O shape. And even though the mouth is open, no teeth are showing as they are covered by the lips. I think we all know what it's like to feel angry. We tilt our head downward as to intimidate, making all the features appear low on the head. The inside corners of the eyes are sloped down. The eyebrows are lowered with the inside corners pointing down as well. The skin between the brows wrinkle, and the mouth forms a frown. Someone intensely angry would be furious. The whole face opens up and the features spread out vertically. Those same angry eyes are present, and the brows become extremely furrowed. Wrinkles on the forehead might be seen as the veins on the face might pop out. The mouth is wide open and snarled, baring all the teeth and tongue. This person might be screaming. Whew. Okay, let's take it down a notch and get silly. Now, there's no hard rules about what a silly face looks like, but you may look closer to a happy expression. The brows could be raised, the eyes might be crossed, and the tongue could be sticking out. We can even add in some funny teeth to give it more character. Okay, if we're just going to get ridiculous, you just want to make everything look off-kilter. You can turn the head sideways, make the eyes different sizes. One eye can be more closed than the other, and the brows can even be doing different things as well. And really, what's a silly face without a tongue sticking out? Ugh, disgusted. A disgusted person is appalled or strongly disapproves. The eyes get all squinty. The inside corners of the eyebrows lower and the brow is furrowed, which means you can see a few wrinkles on the inside corners. The mouth stays small but opens and frowns. The tongue might even be sticking out a bit. If you are intensely disgusted, you are revolted. Just ugh. The whole face scrunches up, making the features appear small on the head. The eyes are closed with lots of wrinkles around them, and the brow is really furrowed now. The mouth is open wide into a frown or grimace, and the tongue hangs out as if it's trying to repel the feeling of distaste. You might even see some wrinkles around the mouth. Ugh. Take a deep breath. We're almost done. Peaceful. The whole face is relaxed. There are no harsh lines or wrinkles or straining of the features of any kind. The eyes might be closed, bringing even more calm to the mind. The mouth forms a gentle smile, and the overall look is happy and content. An intense feeling of peace and satisfaction might come across as love or adoration. Someone in love looks upward. The pupils enlarge, the eyes slope down just a little on the outside corners. The brows might curve down as well. The bottoms of their eyes perk up to support an enamored grin. As you are overcome with this intense feeling of love, your eyes might even start welling up with tears, making them appear more shiny. Wow, so that was an emotional roller coaster. I hope you've picked up some useful tips for how to depict emotions through expressions in your people drawings. There are definitely many more emotions the human face expresses, and I encourage you to make observations about the others on your own. Now it's time for you to do your homework. Spend each day of this week working on a different emotion. Start by determining what your character's features look like in a neutral expression, and use those same features through your entire study. Go through each emotion and try to draw it in varying levels of intensity. Experiment with many different ways to depict the emotion. Keep your drawing simple and only add details if they help convey the emotion. You can find out more about this assignment on the lesson page. It also includes a Pinterest board full of inspiration and additional resources. Find all of this, along with an organized list of all the people skills lessons at bardobrush.com/people. I'll put a link in the description. I hope you'll join us for our next tutorial, where we're going to start learning about the body's limbs and appendages, starting with the fingers. Be sure to subscribe and tap the little bell icon so you don't miss it. I made people skills as a part of my Making Art Everyday project. It's a series of drawing prompts, tutorials, and motivation to help you overcome creative fears and establish a daily art making practice. Learn more at bardobrush.com/joinMAE. If you'd like to purchase the brushes used in this video, you can find them and many more at bardobrush.com. If you're posting your work to Instagram, I would love to see it. Use the hashtag #BardobRush. Thanks and happy art making! If you like this video, be sure to subscribe for more awesome tutorials. And check out one of my other videos. Have a great day!